Well, that was not the result we wanted coming into today's game, but sadly, at the end of the day, the Eagles season is over, and it could not have ended any more uglier. Oh my god, that game was just such an eyesore to watch. There were so many things wrong on the field. The coaching, the preparation for this game, Jalen Hurts, Jalen Reagor, oh my god. There were so many things wrong with this game. But before we get into all that, what is going on, everyone? Welcome back to TTP Sports. And the most important thing you can do is hit that subscribe button. I will greatly appreciate that. So if you are a new viewer to the channel looking for all your latest Philadelphia sports news, recaps, and events, this is the place to sub to, depending on the outcome, because it's great or miserable depending on that outcome. And also, if you're a current viewer of the channel, I am grateful for you being here that long and looking to continue that down the road. Also, if you're looking to get any tickets to any sporting event, concert, whatever you can think of, use the code down below, TTPSPORTS, for $20 off your first purchase with SeatGeek. So that basically, if you want to go to a hockey game, a football game, since playoffs are just underway, basketball, baseball, hopefully when that does come back, definitely take advantage of that $20 off your first purchase. Basically taking away the fees, and hey, that $20 could be used for, like, you know, food, beverage, like a food and a beverage item at a sporting event. So definitely take away those $20 fees. So definitely use that code with SeatGeek. And getting into the business today, the Eagles get spanked. Don't let the score fool you. And I'm sure everyone is not going to be fooled by the score, but don't let it fool you. Eagles get spanked in the wild card game by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 31-15, and it could not be any more uglier. Oh my god, it was just bad. Bad. Everything on the field bad. Just everything. Like I said, Jalen Hurts, Jalen Reagor, who's getting so many punt return attempts. I don't know why. This dude is I understand it was windy down in Tampa Bay. It was. I will. But Jalen Reagor sucks. He just does. He's showcasing every game, just more and more every game, on how much of a failure he was as a first-round pick for this Eagles team a couple of years ago. It's just mind-boggling. Well, not even mind-boggling. I just like, okay, what is he going to show me now? Because I think I've seen it all, but nope. Dropped punt, and the ball like bounces so many ways behind him. He drops a punt, technically becomes a fumble, and Tampa Bay recovers it. It's just, Jalen Reagor, my guy, please stop. Just please stop doing these things that you do, because it's really frustrating to everyone that is an Eagles fan. It just really is. My goodness. Just everything that Jalen Reagor does on the field is just, oh my god. Like, it's like you can't even describe how bad it is, because that's just how bad it is at this point. You're losing words. Like, you're losing brain cells trying to describe how bad it is. It's ridiculous at this point. And Jalen Hurts, like, could not have, you know, any of the or just a worse performance in his first postseason NFL start. He was just all over the place today. He really was. In his stat line today, 23 out of 43, you could definitely tell, like, early on in the game, the Eagles were trying to force their identity. They were trying to use what they, you know, what got them there, utilizing the run. They have the best rushing, you know, in the NFL this season. And that really, I would say, got exposed early, because Tampa Bay, they have one of the best rushing defenses in the NFL, and the Eagles just were not able to get things going early, especially with the run. And it kind of got, you know, later in the game, we kind of went back to, you know, what was the problems earlier in the season with Jalen Hurts trying to force plays to happen, force these deep passes. And credit, there were some plays where, you know, guys should have made their catches, i.e. Dallas Goedert on that very easy first down attempt. And then also Jalen Hurts making some bad passes as well. You're trying to force a play to Devontae Smith in the end zone. And speaking of Devontae Smith, why did it take so long to try to get him involved in the game? There were so many plays throughout this game where, okay, Devontae Smith's wide open. Devontae Smith's there. Why aren't you throwing it to him? Why are we targeting Jalen Reagor on a fourth down? Why is Devontae Smith not getting any catches? It really got towards the late of the game aspect until when Smith finally got some action. I'm just like, what is going on here? What was the game plan? Why are we not utilizing Smith? It's just mind-boggling. I don't understand why he just wasn't, you know, utilized at all. It just was just to finish Hurts' stat line. 258 yards, 1 touchdown, and 2 interceptions, and he also got sacked twice for a quarterback rating of exactly 60. Looking at the rushing stats today, the Eagles really did not run the ball at all much, which, you saw when it got exposed earlier in this game. Jalen Hurts, he carried the ball 8 times for 39 yards. Miles Sanders, he carried it 7 times for 16. He really could not get anything going today. Boston Scott, his lone touch today was a touchdown late in that fourth quarter, so that 1 carry for 34 yards. Also, Kenneth Gainwell got 1 action for 6 yards. Looking at the receiving today, Dallas Goedert, he got the most targets out of the group today for 12, and he caught 6 of them for 92 yards. Devontae Smith, he got 11 targets today, which it did feel like a lot of those were late, though. It took way too long, in my opinion, just to get Devontae Smith involved in any type of the action, but he finishes 4 of 11 with 60 yards total. Kenneth Gainwell with 5 catches for 49 yards, Quez Watkins for 2 catches for 35 yards, and Miles Sanders also got a couple of catches in there as well, got 12 yards in total. And also, speaking of some of these other receivers as well, Quez Watkins, I believe it was in the third quarter, if I'm not mistaken, where the Eagles are trying to go downfield. Jalen Hurts, he's trying to throw a ball to Quez Watkins, and you can see on the replay, it does not look like that Quez is hustling on the play. Like, did he give up on it, like, as the play started? Was it a bad throw by Hurts? Could it be a little bit of both? It was just a confusing aspect. It just, we didn't see that hustle from Quez Watkins. It was just mind-boggling on that play why he was, taking his grand old time. And there were plenty of plays throughout this game where, Jalen Hurts was overthrowing his passers. Quez Watkins got involved in that a couple of times. Same thing with Dallas Goedert as well. But, it was just all over the place. Offensively, defensively, in the secondary, the punt returning, just every aspect of this game, you can say it was just a goddamn mess. It really was, especially defensively. And Jonathan Gannon, which was one of the major concerns coming into this game, especially facing Tom Brady. Like, coming into this game, we know the Eagles were facing, their toughest competition in a while since the back stretch of their schedule where we're against easy teams. The Jets, the Giants, the football team, Washington, actually. I hate calling them the football team. Also, it's just that easy competition going down into the schedule, and then you rest your starters in the final game against Dallas, to prepare for this game. And it just, I guess this is probably what you expect, or not, I wouldn't say what you expected. I didn't expect this team to win this game, but I didn't expect them to, kind of wanted them to be a little competitive at least. Like, I would have been happy with this game if it was I would have been fine with this game if they were competitive in a loss, if you know what I mean. Like, if the game was competitive through and through, it ended up being a 2-score, 1-score type of game, and it was a full fight throughout the entire contest. This game was over in the second quarter. Honestly, this game was over in the first quarter because there was just no life in this team. You got Tom Brady picking apart John Gannon's defense, and then you got, Mike Evans doing his entire thing on Darius Slay, on Rodney McLeod, on basically every secondary person you could think of, Avonte Maddox. There was just so many things that Mike Evans was doing out there. He was just picking apart. Same thing with Tom Brady, just picking apart the defense. And with how many injuries that Tampa Bay had in today's game, it really didn't matter. They came into this game, they wanted to score points, and they utilized everything possibly that they had. And Tom Brady, as, one of the greatest possibly the greatest quarterback in NFL history, he did his thing. And that's basically what Tom Brady did in today's game. He destroyed an opponent that was way outclassed by them. And the Eagles defense, even though there were situations where they did get to Tom Brady a lot during this game as well, they were sacking him, but that was when the score was so wide open at that point. It was around 17-0 or something like that when they were eventually starting to sack Tom Brady. But that was more in the middle aspect of the game. And then you get into the third quarter, he starts blowing the game wide open even from there, getting 2 more touchdowns in that third quarter. And then, Eagles constantly turning over the ball. They're trying to force plays happening, and Eagles don't get their first points until that fourth quarter, where it's basically in garbage time. And it really doesn't matter because it just skews up the, don't let your minds get skewed when you look at this, final score, just because the game was nowhere close to as what the final score even says. It was just, domination on all aspects of the side for Tampa Bay, and the Eagles were just, they were not there. I don't even know if it's preparation, that falls on the coaching staff as well, preparing for this week. You rested all your guys against Dallas, which I did agree with. I definitely did agree with, because you were going through COVID situations and you had a lot of guys that were banged up. I agree with resting your starters against the Dallas Cowboys. But Did that have a little bit of effect coming into this week? Did they get them out of their momentum a little bit there? Or was it just showcasing how outclassed this Eagles team actually was? Just because if you look at the back end of their schedule, it was very weak. And the Eagles this year did not beat a team that was above 500. Just shows the go you right there. And that really, maybe that showcases how far away this Eagles team actually is, even though I'm not going to let this loss take away what the Eagles did this entire season. No way in hell, because what they did, they were 2-5. They managed to get into the playoffs after, starting off 2-5. So that's great in itself, even though it did help by the end of the schedule being so easy. But still, they took advantage of that schedule and they managed to find their way into a wild card spot. And you have to appreciate that in itself. I just wish this game was a little more competitive, but maybe this does showcase, some of the flaws with this team that they really do need to work on going into the offseason. And that kind of sucks because, could this be the last game in an Eagles uniform for Jason Kelce? Is he going to retire after this year? And, the ongoing question whether Jalen Hurts is going to be, the future of this franchise at starting quarterback. He definitely earned his spot as the starter for next year. That's definite at this point. But those questions, especially after this game, are still going to come up. Is Jalen Hurts going to be, the long-term future of this franchise? Is he going to be that guy? Because we all know that right now the flaws with Jalen Hurts. Sometimes he gets into these old habits where he tries to force plays. He tries to go way too far downfield. He tries, hit these guys. It just feels like he's trying to do way too much on the field. And we know that his arm isn't the strongest. That's definitely one of his weakest points there. But he earned his spot as being the starter next year, and we're going to have to work from there because I think this was your first test with Jalen Hurts. He passed that so far, and now the real test comes with next year. How is he going to improve from this season? How is he going to improve from these hardships that he had to face this season? All, the adversity coming into this game. Is he going to learn from this game against Tampa Bay? Is he going to, work the entire offseason to try to improve his game, improve his craft? That's going to be one of the important things that you really need to see from Jalen Hurts. And just going into a more, just going back to Jalen Reagor, my God, like this dude sucks. It just does. He just sucks. And he just continues to show every single game that he is just a total failure. And when the hell is Howie Roseman going to admit that? If Jalen Reagor is an Eagle next year, there is going to be pitchforks, there's going to be torches going down to, the Link, the NovaCare complex, wherever you think of, to ask the question, why the hell is Jalen Reagor still a Philadelphia Eagle at this point? Because it is just completely ridiculous how bad he gets every single game. And they still continue to give him chances, and he still fails. It's amazing. It's really just amazing to see, mind-blowing, and I have no idea. I have no idea, how one guy can be this bad. It's really just mind-boggling. I just can't get over it. I just can't. It's unbelievable at that point. It really is. And going back to John Gannon as well, it's just, I don't know. I really have, a lot of us have our problems with Jonathan Gannon. Is he, going to take a head coach spot next year with a different team? I know there were rumors about him, interviewing with some of these other vacant head coaches spots. So maybe can he get his goddamn ass out of town? Maybe the Eagles can get a better defensive coordinator for next season. Or is he going to stick around and hopefully improve? Because, the defense right now is really one of the major flaws of this team. And they really need to improve on that. Really do. They need more weapons offensively. They need more weapons on defense. Hopefully these 3 first-round picks will help you out in this upcoming draft to where maybe you can draft some guys, add to the defense, add to the secondary, get some actual good quality talent there so you can improve that defense. And you also just really need to find some more weapons offensively because Dallas Goedert and Devontae Smith can't be your only weapons. I know Quez Watkins is still young, but he's had some moments where he does look like a disappointment. Kenneth Gainwell, yes, there's also some moments there, but I think they also need a third weapon to go along with Dallas Goedert and Devontae Smith. Do they go after another wide receiver in free agency? I have no idea. Do they work a trade out? I have no idea. I just don't. And I do believe that the dead cap from Carson Wentz is going to come off the books after this season, so that definitely is going to help this Eagles team out. But there's so many things to discuss, going into this offseason with this team. But I'm still proud of them for making the playoffs. I'm just upset that it was just this ugly in this wild card game. Like, I'm frustrated with this game, but I'm not going to let it take away from what they accomplished this season. I do give a pass to Nick Sirianni, even though coming into this game, there's still some questions about Sirianni. There's still some flaws, even though he is a rookie head coach as well. This entire coaching staff, they're very young. Let's see how they just work that into next season now, going into training camp next year. How are they going to work this offseason? How are they going to build this roster up for next year to make it better? Because this was a year where our expectations was, where is this team going to be? How bad are we going to be? But the expectations, okay, they went past their expectations and they made the playoffs. So now the expectations, they're going to rise a little bit going into next year. So you're going to have to come out next year. You're going to have to improve this team, improve your game plans, and just improve yourself overall. So we're definitely going to have to wait and see until what that happens. Right now, this is just the start of it. You're going to have this whole week of press conferences, until the NFL playoffs end. Then you're going to eventually have the draft, free agency, and all that stuff. But that stuff is so far away at this point. That's a long way to discuss for that. So disappointed in this game, but I'm not going to let that affect what they did this season. So I want to hear your thoughts on this game, everyone. So what are your thoughts on this Eagles season as a whole? What are your thoughts on this game, and what do you think this team needs to do to improve next year? Do you think Jalen Hurts is the guy, or do you think they have to go in some different direction because you don't trust Jalen Hurts? So don't forget to leave those comments down in the comment section below. Don't forget to drop a like on this video. Also, don't forget to check out the Panel Lines, which I'm a part of. Their links are down in the description below. Also, don't forget to check out the links to BrodesMedia, the Flyer Pod merch website, and also Flyers Nitty Gritty. All that stuff is down in the description below. Like I said at the beginning of the video, the most important thing you can do is hit that sub button and also use the code TTPSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase at SeatGeek, and I will see you next time.